Lida, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Germano. And first of all, I want to say thank you and big thank you to all the participants and to the people that we cooperate from all different countries for joining us in this, as you mentioned, the third peer learning activity. And the aim of these activities is that not only the members, some of the members, because we have many members, we have 11 members in this Centers of Excellence network with a focus on skills for inclusion, but also the other members that we would like to learn from each other what is happening in given contexts and how we can join efforts. Just for some of the new people maybe that are joining us, we are an EU agency based in Turin, Italy, and we work with all the countries outside Europe. And this network shows that these partnerships are getting stronger and stronger to cooperate not only among themselves, the countries, but also with the EU partners. As some of you know, the Centers of Excellence network of ETF had been established in 2020. Also, we work with EU partners from all over Europe, but also with partners in facilitating this network, like ENIP that Germano presented. And for this peer learning 3, this is the third, the focus is innovation, technology, and how we enhance the inclusion, skills for inclusion for all groups of people. We are not focusing on one group, for all people, all young people, for excelling in their acquiring skills and how they work at all levels. So I'll leave the floor now to the cases that we have from Albania as a member in this, but also from European members and outside Europe, and we can only learn with each other. Thank you, and the floor is yours, Germano, to give the speech.
Yes,
now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lida. So let me just very briefly present the agenda of today. We will have very inspiring presentations. We will start with a presentation from the Hospitality and Tourism School of Tirana, and they will, Mr. Besim Jaya, who is Head of Department and Quality Assurance, will show how work-based learning in the Albanian context can enhance social inclusion. Then we will hear the voices of some students who will talk about their experience. Then we will have a presentation from Mr. Git Shakir, who is General Manager of MK Hotel in Tirana. After that, we will have a presentation from the Albanian skills and from Ms. Anna Zakarian. Albanian Skills is a platform for the promotion of vet excellence and skills development. After that, we will connect with Portugal and Mr. Alexandre Teixeira from Innovinter in Portugal, a vet provider, a Portuguese vet provider, will explain how to contribute to social inclusion with work-based learning. This presentation will be followed by our partners from the other side of the ocean, and we will move to Brazil. And Mr. Dionisio João Parise from Parise Educação e Inovação will present a manual to support the transition from school to business and labor market. Then we will leave some space, of course, to questions and answers, but I would now leave the floor to our Albanian colleagues. Besim, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be today with you. Thank you to all the ATF team, to ENIP, and welcome to all the participants from all over the world. First, I would like to make a short introduction of myself and our institution. We are the first hospitality and tourism school of Albania. We are based in Tirana, the capital of the country, and we are one of the oldest vocational and education school in Albania. Also, after the meeting, all our data for future collaboration, for everything that you may, every question you might have regarding our presentation or regarding our experience in work-based learning. Our school is created in 1959. There was a food technology school, and after many years, in 1995, we created the branch of Hospitality and Tourism School. And since 2000, the school is with the name of Hospitality and Tourism School and has a lot of demand regarding the development of tourism and hospitality. Our school offers two different branches, Hospitality and Tourism and Food Technology. Right now, we have a total of number of students, approximately 900, and we have 5 different profiles operating right now. There are cooking pastry, bartending and restaurant, front office, hospitality service, and touristic guide. The structure of the school is 2+1+1 and 2++2. Graduation and certification. The level 2 of graduation is, by the end of 2nd and 3rd year of academic professional, we gain the level 2 or level 3 of Albanian qualification framework, and by ending the state matura, they gain the 4th level of Albanian framework. So let's start for what we are discussing today, experience with work-based learning so far. In Albania, the legal framework for work-based learning is complete. Regulation of professional practice in business is approved since 2020 and was done a huge work regarding this regulation because she appointed everything that business, the criteria that business should apply to take students and to start work-based learning in their company. In all vocational schools were created development unit, and this office, this unit is in charge for work-based learning in all VET providers. Part of these development units are also the business coordinator that play a significant role in all the process, in all the activities to coordinate business with school and student. For business procedures, all the related documents format have been created and standardized for all VET providers. So all VET schools along Albania have the same format, have the same procedures, and everything is drafted by NAVETQ, by NAEL, and the Economical Ministry. All the business coordinators have been trained from our National Agency for Vocational Training Qualification, and also the NAVETQ has created the Quality Assurance Manual for School and Business Cooperation. Before, regulation of businesses professional practice, but what it means? Business practice occurs in distributed or block mode. That means that the student can go along all the years, or they can make the practice in short blocks, 4 weeks, 8 weeks, or 12 weeks. Schedules and time are decided in accordance with everyone cooperation and understanding. our school have a very positive experience regarding this. For example, if we have the profile of bar, restaurant, and bartending, the schedule of the practice or of the students in the businesses is Thursday and Friday, because the biggest work or job is during those days and also in the weekend. For other profiles that are, for example, front office, the day scheduled are different. They are Monday and Tuesday, because on accordance with the business, we recognize that those 2 days was with the higher work with these businesses. Business is not permitted to perform hazardous or heavy work during the practice. And one of the most important points that this regulation have clarified is that students can complete summer internships and while they earning the right compensation or wage for the work they are doing. This is very important because Albania is a seaside country, and we have a huge work, we have huge activity during the summer season. But before that, the regulation was approved, for the student was impossible to do practice or internship during the summer, because the duration of the contract was only for the academic year. So it ends at end of June when the school is done. Business relation coordinator. This is the most important role regarding the work-based learning in our school and in our vocational centers. The BC identifies new companies willing to collaborate with the school and prepare the school business cooperation agreement, because every student that go for practice have a personal contract after the school has signed the general agreement with the business. He or she created and maintained a business database regarding all the information of the business. He also makes several visits at the company, and he also coordinates the needs for professional practice with the capabilities of businesses. Documentation for businesses practices. As I mentioned before my presentation, the legal framework is now perfect, and all the documents, all the data that the vocational practice need are made from the school. Is a contract, the first of all is a contract between school and the business. Let's say the general agreement. After that is a contract among the student and the business on individual premises. If the student is younger than 18 years old, is signed by his parents or his legal tutor. A health document of the students that prove that the student is able to do the job, the student is able to make all the duties assessed to him, and he do not have a kind of illness that can affect the workplace. A professional practice program in business created by the vet provider. This is also a very important point, succeeded by the business regulation, because all the students, despite the profile, despite the direction, have a special program business created by the vet provider. And it is also one of the strongest points of social inclusion for everything. So all kind of students have an individual program for their business practice. And for one kind of format organization, intern evaluation, after the practice is done, we have a kind of format where the businesses can give their assessment, and this assessment is part of the final assessment of the student in the end of the year. I would lie if I say that everything is perfect. something that is could be done better, but I have listed here some difficulties with business practice, and I'm sure that a lot of vet providers face the same issues or difficulties right now, same as us. There are still companies that will not accept interns as apprentices because they find difficult to conform the regulatory criteria. There are cases of students not being registered as apprentices in the Social Security database and not having their insurance quota paid. Not all of the criteria used to choose businesses are always used. Reimbursing the student for their transportation costs to places of employment is also still challenging. According to the orientation program, students not always cycle to job roles since the BC are overworked with paperwork and other duties. Now I want to share the experience of our school regarding the businesses practice, and we are the school with the highest number of business partners. Right now we have, during only this academic year, we have 2,270 business partners and 700 students conducted the practice actually. This number of partners is only in Tirana. As you can see in the photo, in the listed photo, there are 4 international brands that are operating right now in Tirana. There are 4 more also to open the doors the next years, but actually we have Plaza Maritime Hotel, MK Hotels. There are 2 German brands operating very successful in our country. Marriott Hotel, a 5-star hotel, opened the doors this year. Hilton Garden Inn, and all these hotels are part of and one of the strongest partner of our school. Our school is true that is very connected and very close to the businesses, but we also have an excellent environment, excellent infrastructure to prepare the student and then to send, let's say, half ready to the businesses, and so they take the next step of upskilling themselves. Here are some pictures of our school, kitchen, restaurant, and normally the sportive field. Our school is also very careful to other activities like culture, traditional, sport, and for sure protecting our territory. And our motto is, through work we learn. That also is the motto of work-based learning. Thank you everyone, and faleminderit. Grazie a tutti.
Germano, we can't hear.
Sorry, can you hear me now? So thank you, Besim, for your exhaustive presentation. I have just a very quick question, which is if you are planning to carry out part of your business practice abroad.
Yes, in September we will start a new project with also one of ITF partners, that is Apro Formazione. 10 of our students will make a one-month visit of practice, work-based learning in Alba, in Italy. And this will be the first time for our school and our students, and we are starting finally an internalization process. And we are very proud of it, also with our partner Albanian Skills, and we are very happy to announce it in a huge audience.
Very, very good. So you're extending your social inclusion process. Very good.
Yes.
So we can now hear the voices of some experiences from your students. Yes. I would leave the floor to the students.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, we can hear you, but we cannot see you.
One more time, please. Can you see?
Now we can also see you. Yeah. Excellent. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm in 4th year, the boys too. So the school usually operates with different business partners. And you start working or practicing and teaching how to do because we have different subjects. We have how to cook, how to be in front office, how to be a barist, how to be a bartender, you know. And for me and myself, I work in a kitchen. I have 2 years. I did 6 months practice by the school, and after I practiced there, I started working, and now I am the first cook in the kitchen, and you know, it's kind of fun to cook, but it's also very stressful, and you need to be prepared for what can happen. You should know what to do. The food is the most important thing in the moment now. Everything is going to go to it. We can't live without it. And you should enjoy it by your eyes and by tasting it. You can something. Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm in 4th year as well. Just like my friend said, the school is actually very, very professional. They give us contracts, just like Professor Desi said. They give us contracts that we send them to the businesses, and then the businesses can sign in, as well as our parents or our legal parents that are assigned from us from law, because we have different students at our school. We have so many types, from all around the country, I could say, or even the world, because some are foreign, and they find our school very pleasing, very very open-minded. And so when we get our contract, we go to the business. The business are assigned from us from school, as I said. The businesses are assigned from us from what the school thinks is better for us, and also what we like to do. So for me, I worked at the restaurant as a waiter for 2 years or something around like that. And the school has done a great job actually assigning a great business for me. And every time I feel like I needed a change or I needed to gather some more experience, the school did that for me without any problems, without any fatigue. So yeah, the school does no discrimination as all the schools should. The school is very good place. The professors are very professional. The teachers as well. Everything is great at the school. Now the school is getting really reconstructed because of a natural disaster which happened to us. It was very unfortunate. But the school is now getting reconstructed, and next year it will be better than ever, I could say. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we have a third presentation.
Yes. Also, I'm in the 4th year. The school gives us opportunity for working for our patients. You know, after every year, he gives us a degree. After the second year, a degree. The third year, a degree. We can go into work. We say, hey, we make the school in hospitality and tourism. It's a good thing. And also, we make here competition in kitchen. That's it. And
okay. So thank you very much. After hearing the voices of the students, we can actually see how learners are well prepared to meet the demands of the labor market. So now we can continue by leaving the floor to Mr. Gid Shakir, who is the General Manager of MK Hotel in Tirana, one of the 270 businesses that the school cooperate with. Mr. Gid Shakir, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure being part of this panel and this call. Definitely, as you said, we are a part of this collaboration, but through that, the detailed presentation that our colleague Besima has done brought you an overall situation. But I want to underline that even though the national regulation for the practices has been introduced in 2020, we cannot, let's say, forget that also before that, we had a very good experience. And I think for this reason, these are the results now, because the Hospitality and Tourism School have been part of a pilot project for the practices and for the work-based learning. And for this reason, we have saw that the best cases brought were the one that we had a good collaboration between the practice on the business and the lessons or theoretical lessons or practices done at the school. Being for many years in the industry, and of course, for mostly 10 years now that we work closely with the Hospitality and Tourism School, with the director and with all other colleagues or business coordinators, we find this a very great help actually in our situation, especially on the demand on the human resources that we have now. But nevertheless, this I have definitely figured out that if we want a product and if we are interested in a quality, we should invest. And I think the better investments, what the business could do is skilling or shaping, let's say, or giving their contribute in, let's say, qualifying or this work-based learning that the students will do. Because definitely with a good coordination that the businesses could have with the school, we are, let's say, a contribution to the product that will come to the market in the upcoming years. And without doubt that we need to be near the school and in order to bring these good examples, because we know that they are also abusing in some of the work, let's say, atmosphere, the working hours or declaring or not declaring in the social insurance in the government. But if we go to the school and bring with open hours or open days, which we usually do, also the students can see the reality of the business, which is, let's say, in the market, and definitely there.
We lost, I think we lost the connection with Mr. Shakir. Oh yes, he's trying to connect again. Okay, so I think we lost the connection for a few minutes.
Sorry, because maybe it was interrupted due to the internet. So,
no worry.
Just concluding this, and I think the importance and what our experience has brought, that is the strong connection of the business with the school, and definitely adjourning or bringing also the curricula up to the business needs, which was, and we have been part of also consulting with the NAVETQ in order to bring this curricula as much as in our needs of daily needs of the business. We see that we are only profiting from it, having, let's say, a labor or human resources nearly ready in order to introduce them in our businesses, because we see now the lack of the human resources. It's bringing us in a position that we have to fastly train new unskilled hospitality persons in order to fulfill the empty position that we have. But I think in this case, definitely we know that the Hospitality and Tourism School has done a great job. And for this reason, all the students there are part of these practices, and of course are in the market, and we see them in every restaurant, in every, let's say, hotel all around. We here are pleased to have all mostly nearly 8 months that are for the practice. We have in the 3 of the departments, the practices, the students, and every day they are mostly nearly part of the team. And what we can find better in order to have a new employer, if we cannot have these persons which have been with us, shaped by us, and with good coordination, definitely with a theoretical part and school practice. This was all from my side. Thank you very much, and it was a pleasure, let's say, being part of this call.
Thank you very much. It's, can we say, a very good example of how you reap the rewards of the mutual collaborations on both sides, the school on one side and the companies on the other side, because you put the school in a position to fill the gap between what the job seekers are looking for and what the labor market is also looking for and demands on a professional side. So thank you very much. I would now leave the floor to Miss Anna Zakarian from the Albanian Skills, who will talk about the capacity building actions of the institution, which was established in 2014, if I'm not wrong. And she will talk about how the platform for promoting vet excellence and skills development works. Thank you very much. Anna, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Germano. Thank you, ETF, for this opportunity to be together, but also to share among us experiences, not only today, but from many years ago. Because ENE, Excellence Network for Excellence, is very fruitful and useful also for us, that we are somehow trying to promote excellence, but at the same time, we are really learning, and it's a excellent learning for us. I will take it up my short presentation from Besim and from Gid. Congratulations first for your presentations, and I like it very much let's say the things you tackled regarding the cooperation with business and students and schools. Obstacles which are very important to be realized and to be addressed, in order to improve this relation in the benefit, of course, of the skilling and upskilling of our students. Also from GIT, the way how they see as a business side, how they see this cooperation and improvement that are needed. We are part of, let's say, of the VET and skill development area for many years. But one of our most important milestone is our involvement in EU-funded projects in capacity building in VET and internationalization process of VET systems. And this is made possible through mobilities, work-based learning opportunities of Albanian students in EU countries. And also, because we are in this journey, from last year, we have been hosting as well European students, specifically Italian students, to Albanian companies. And they are two excellent opportunities for business also to benefit from this know-how of process. And we are trying to use these methodologies, working culture styles, communication styles, to bring it to the business, to private sector and businesses which cooperates with schools. And I took notes of only few things which can be, let's say, improved, but also these are in our working plans of Erasmus Plus project and Intervet projects. First, to improve and to influence, let's say, in working culture relation between business and students and schools, in order to introduce fair and decent work-based learning opportunities. And this is one of our learning also with experience with EU companies and in EU working environment. Second way of, to improve way of learning between institutions with each other and business and institutions also. Way of assessment from hosting or sending organization, which in this case, for example, under Erasmus project with hotel school, capacity building in VET, are introduced mobilities, and we will highlight and we will focus in improving as well way of assessment. Other things, it's openness to new communication channels, which is very important also for not only for schools but also for companies, in order to be introduced in this let's say international working and cooperation environment. And other things, of course, it's all parties can understand better each other and can improve also the way of working, and the overall standards will be raised. This is, let's say, in a very brief, but I am open to answer your questions, and also we can leave our contacts, and for everything and for all cooperation, we remain open and very supportive, especially to Albanian schools, VET community in Albania, but also in the region. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have a very quick question. You mentioned the process of internationalization of Albanian schools. If you could say something more about existing projects on this topic, especially regarding the VET schools in the Western Balkans.
Yes, we are in the fourth year, final year of this project. And through this entire journey, the focus has been how to make VET system more international, let's say through these work-based learning opportunities through capacity building with staff participating in summer schools, in job shadowings. And I can count, let's say from Albania are around 120 or 30 participants among more than thousands of applicants. And of course, the participants are more beneficial, but I can say that also in this process, all applicants has been learning somehow, because to become somehow or to be introduced into international environment, working environment, you need to have a curriculum, you need to make a nice presentation, you need to have a good communication style, you need to have language, English. So all these things, which looks to be very minor, they are very substantial and important for internationalization, let's say, of vet schools. Also, introduction of even documentation that students can bring from the EU experiences. They bring it to school, and we try also to build some learning process in this aspect. Assessment from companies made in EU countries, for example, it is a good contribution. So all these, they are very small things, but they are happening in 6 Balkan countries. And we are really enjoying and happy for these excellent opportunities in our region. Besides that, from this January, we started 3 Erasmus Plus capacity building in VET. And one of that is VET to VET Albania. And the hotelery school is part of this, one of most important partner in this project, together with another school, which is Multifunctional School of Kamsa. With both schools, we started from this January, the project, and it will last for 2 years. Next year, next week, we will have an observatory mission from Aproformazione and SEPR, Lyon, France. Both together, they will work with both schools to visit, as a study visit. We will organize a roundtable for vet stakeholders in Albania. They will make focus group with students, with staff, teachers, everyone. And then they will build an action plan in order to find the most suitable and helpful way how to help and support the schools in capacity building.
Thank you very much. So this is a further proof that Erasmus is very inclusive, and that both the cooperation and I am always convinced that transnational mobility is an example of social inclusion, and this is the proof of it. So thank you very much. So we are a little bit ahead of schedule, so I would leave the floor to Lida if you want to add something, Lida.
No, I don't have to add, because as you know, I like to facilitate. I need the actors to say what they feel and where they see their achievements, and also where they see their challenges. But what we see with all the members that we have, because as I said, we are very sorry, we are having only this limited number of peer learning with focusing on one member. We have had from Israel, which we look there in the case of Israel, because every country, and every system acts within their context, but they learn a lot from this internationalization, which is in another way how they use technology and innovation for inclusive skills and inclusiveness in the vet providers level. Then we had the second one, and I see the colleagues here, maybe they want to put questions from Zimbabwe and Malawi
as well.
It was so impressive, because in their peer learning, and like in Albania case that they bring their students and the industry, they brought in our peer learning the whole community. And in all these different examples that we are having, and there are other members in the network. I want to stress, we have brilliant, and we all met in San Sebastian, where everybody created even stronger link. In all these examples, we see that it's only the cooperation, it's only the understanding better each institutional part, formal or informal, and the community, and the students, and the teaching staff, and university for training the teachers. They understand each other, they align their provision and the aims where they all want to achieve with each other, and they come up with common kind of agenda, which serves everybody, the institutions taking part, most of all, the young people that are the recipient of the provision of education and learning and skills, but also for the economy, because as we see in all our examples, all these members that are in the ETF facilitated network of excellence, they are linked with the sectors. And that's where we see, because yes, we can complain and we can say that not all the employers are active, not all the institutional structures are cooperating, but in our cases, we see that with a goodwill, with a professional view, also with devotion and emotions, meaning that all staff, they encourage all this cooperation, it can be done. And also there are contexts that they need also the support of NGOs, the civil society, or the organization, like Anna is presenting, and there is also other colleague, Alma, and that we all meet, but not only for the Albania case, where they show that you need to talk not only among the vet schools, but also the higher university, because it's the professional development of teachers, which is very crucial, is the curricula development. So the curricula developers together, how they can work with the business, not to do the curricula in a studio or in a class there or in an office, and you make the curriculas and the standards. You need the quality assurance. And that's why the agencies of the quality assurance and the accreditation, the national qualification frameworks are very important for the accreditation of these skills that the young people acquire, and they can be, and they are aligned with the business requirements. So I have nothing more to say, but I'm saying we all need to link the dots, and not only the dots in a national setup, but the dots and what we can learn from the others, being it in not just in European setup, but in all the world. And that's why we are grateful to have also outside Europe partners in this group of centers of excellence. We are very grateful to everybody and for all they do. I'll pass it to you, and thank you so far.
Thank you very much, Lida. So we might now continue on. Is there anybody? No, okay. So we can continue on with the next presentations. And I am delighted.
If we can ask people if they have directly for Albania, so they don't forget, or we leave all the questions in the end.
As you prefer.
Not me. It's if there is a certain question from, and then.
I cannot see any particular questions in the chat, so we may leave it for the question and answer session at the end of the presentations. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So I am delighted to leave the floor to Mr. Alexandre Teixeira from Inovinter, a vet provider in Portugal. You will explain us how to contribute to social inclusion with work-based learning. Thank you very much, Alexandre. The floor is yours.
Good morning to all. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's very important to have these moments and to share our experience and learn with the experience of the other partners. I will be very practical at my presentation. I'm going to talk about projects that are running now at Inovinter. Gentlemen, as you said, we are a vocational training center, a partnership between the National Employment Service and in the trade union in Portugal. And I will share my presentation. It's better, I think. So
thank you.
a brief second.
May I ask you where you are based in Portugal? In which city?
We are based in Lisbon.
Lisbon, okay.
But we have facilities from the north of Portugal, Braga, to the south, Algarve also. So we cover all the country, and we have also some projects at São Tomé and Guiné, former colonies of Portugal.
Excellent.
So let me
I came back from Braga 1 week ago. Yes.
So I think you are watching my presentation.
So, yes, we can see it. Yeah.
It all begins with this question: how to contribute to social inclusion with work-based learning. And I was saying, I was talking about a little bit about Innovinter, a VET provider with 25 years of existence, a partnership between the Vocation Training National Vocation Training Center and a trade union. And our mission is to promote and carry out qualified, innovative, and sustainable vocational training and obvious social intervention with several projects. And we have one of our values and mission to promote pedagogical practices and methodologies which promote and favor diversity, respect, and the acceptance of cultural and ethnic differences. This specific value are inspired on these SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, particularly on this, the 10, reduce inequalities, that you can also look for info, and the quality of education, that is very important to us. And this obvious connects with these 3 European Union targets by 2030. And I will show how can we make this connection. We have these 3 huge objectives as a community: 78% of employment, 60% of training, and 15 million reducing poverty. How is the role of VET providers on these 3 items? I think that they are clear and very, very important. So, talking about our projects and practices that we are now developing, because we are convinced that a fairer, healthier society with social cohesion must be based on a strong sense of responsibility. So we work a lot using networks, local networks that become regional networks and then national networks. I think this is the main aspect that we are using now. And other is work directly with communities. Now we are working with associations, local development associations, and because we have a specific policy for migrants, since Portugal are receiving a lot of not only migrants, but also asylum seekers and refugees, we have a specific policy, internal policy at Innovinter to this kind of public. So giving opportunity to these communities to learn, it's a way to combat this all types of discrimination, gender, age, disability, and sexual orientation. So I resume this on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 projects. We have a lot more, but I will talk about these 5 in particular. And I will start by this BIP-ZIP that we call here in Portugal. This is a municipality funding, a local funding that with small amounts of money, small budget, boosts some projects in the territory, on the area from the city. This BIP-ZIP, we are talking about Lisbon, the capital, and this project in specific we started a few years ago. 5 years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago, we started with sewing courses, simple sewing courses for women that were outside of the cycle of opportunities, like problems with addictions, prostitution, migrants, etc. And we started simple sewing courses. We consider this is an opportunity to take women from home, bring them to a different environment to learn and to establish contacts with other colleagues and even with teachers and and with the local society. During 4 or 5 years, we developed this sewing course, and at the end, we thinking that we need to make make the new step. And the new step was to create an association that is now a cooperative that we call Bandim. And this cooperative, all the artisans, all our students are now working in this cooperative, developing a lot of work directly with companies. This network that I was talking about, this local network, we have companies working with us, and they are now buying products from this Cooperativa Bandim. So in the easy way, vocational training in sewing, then giving them tools to get some independence. And after that, they are now receiving a salary, they are working, they are happy, and they have a new opportunity to start. This is one of them. Some pictures about the sewing course. We are talking about more than 60 different nationalities during these 5 years. Humans in the loop. This is another one, more connected to IT, also with refugees and asylum seekers. We consider that it's important to train some communities in giving them the chance to get autonomous, not only financially, that is important, but also to get skills on this IT area. So we contact a Bulgarian foundation, Humans in the Loop. This is a company that works in foundation that works with AI, artificial intelligence, and then they give training to communities that are vulnerable. They are working in Afghanistan, Iran, Pakistan, etc. And with the computer and the internet connection, they can receive training, not only in English, but also in platforms of annotation. Annotation is simple tasks. I can give you the example. When you want to create an email, normally the machine asks you to identify the bridges for security. Please identify these 5 bridges. Then we identify the bridges. We need to teach a machine to perform this task. So we give them initial IT skills. Then we teach them how to work with these annotation platforms. And after that, they can look for jobs online at distance, everywhere. Platforms like Amazon, Lego company, they have these kind of jobs. You apply to them, then you can perform the tasks and receive money. This is a way to get money online, to work online, because you know that sometimes, in particular in Portugal, women are when we talk about refugees and asylum seekers, women are normally at home and don't receive any kind of support. So it's a way to get some money. Now, with 4 pilots that we run in Portugal, from Braga to Lisbon, we are now considering to scale up this project to people, to homeless now. We have a huge community here in Lisbon now, and to young needs also, to work in some neighborhoods, giving training to these youngsters. This is also some pictures. We have here a student performing the task of annotation, and students of, we are talking about here 22 different nationalities in all our courses. Desenvolve in Portuguese, in English is development. We call it empowering dreams. This is also a mixture of a local funding and the national funding. With small amount, we're talking about 10,000 euros. We boost ideas. We received more or less 10 projects a year. Some of them have huge success now. We have an example I can share after. A Syrian family, 2 IT engineers that start here in Portugal a catering service, gastronomy from Middle East, and now they have a huge restaurant in the fancy area of Lisbon. And they start with a small investment of 2,050 euros, like some machines. We provide obvious training to them, how to do a business plan, how to activate trademarks, legal system in Portugal, taxes, etc. This is very tailor-made training to each person, to each project, with a huge partners or network of partners. We are talking about partners from social intervention, because some of these families have needs, mental health, vocational training, etc., and legal also. And about this, we have more than 6-7 projects now with enormous success. This is some of the pictures also of the project with our partners. Portugalia, this is one of the last projects that we are running. Portugalia, it's a huge restaurant network in Portugal, and they are hiring migrants in general, migrants that are in the process of documentation. They deal with all the process using this local network, social services and vocational training. We identify an opportunity to qualify the lower employees in this hierarchy, people that are normally washing dishes. They don't need to talk local language, English or Portuguese, and we need to promote them to another position. So we split. We are giving the opportunity to 10 students from outside the system. They are not workers from Portugalia, and 10 workers from Portugalia. These 10 workers will receive training specific to restaurant, bar, hospitality. They will get a new position in the hierarchy. They're going to climb one position and then open the possibility to these 10 outside students to get to these jobs. So, and now we are trying to make this in scale. We are now giving training to the other ones to get better positions, better conditions, better salaries, and in general, a better life. The success of these pilots, small pilots, are now spreading the word in our enterprise coffees that we have monthly here in Portugal. We gather vocational training, communities and companies, and then we share these pilots. And now we are receiving companies from all over the country that wants to pay for this training to train their employees and also people from outside. Diversity. This is a project that we are working directly with local associations and consists in general to give training to migrant leaders. We know that they are receiving a lot of calls to participate in different applications, to get funds, and they don't have the skills to go by themselves. So we are now training them, all these leaders, and giving them the opportunity to make these applications very autonomous. They don't need other institutions directly to make the applications, just to get the network. This is really good because we started with a national diagnosis. We talked with all the leaders. We asked them what kind of needs that you have, and then they told us the needs. We get and built a tailor-made training course for each of them. We have about 150 hours of training courses with different areas, like how to create an association, how to deal once again with taxes, with legal things. So we are trying, and we are giving these tools to community to help them to be totally autonomous. So just to finish, with all these projects, we want to create opportunities for people that are in a vulnerable condition. As I said, migrants, people with addictions, drugs, prostitution, etc. We privilege an holistic intervention. So with this huge network, local, regional, and national, we identify challenges, and then we establish contact with other organizations that give answer to these challenges. The entrepreneurship are here just in a sense of giving tools, one more tool to act in the market. We know that our way of live in Europe in general, we need to work, we need to receive money, we need skills to face all the challenges that we have, like housing, the salaries, etc., and work, and the customized professional training. We grab all the national catalog that we have, and we combine units in a way that we can better answer to the local realities. We could grab the national catalog, give the training, but now it's important to make tailor-made and customized professional training to answer specific needs. So with all of these projects, I think that I answered these questions here, that with the projects we are contributing to employment through training. Obviously, we are now giving the chance to more people to join the training, contributing to this objective, and also reducing poverty with projects that can promote people and make people getting better salaries and better conditions in work. We are contributing to this reducing of poverty, and I think that I finished. Yeah, thank you, obrigado, and I'm at your disposal for any questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Alexandra, for the presentation of top-notch examples of social inclusion, because you actually put even the weakest ones in a position to create a revenue and live in your country in a decent way. So this is these few examples that you've just mentioned and presented are very good examples of social inclusion. We are now flying across the ocean, and we are landing in the south of Brazil, if I'm not wrong. And we are connecting with Paris Educação e Inovação, in particular with Mr. Dionisio João Paris, who is educational consultant. And you will explain how you help young people to get a job and present a manual to support the transition from school to the labor market. Dionisio, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, ETF, for invitation. As we are running out of our time, let me share the presentation here, then we can start to talk. It's okay, Germano?
It is very good. We can see the full screen presentation, so that's perfect.
Okay. Again, thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here, and always a pleasure to talk about, let's say, the inclusion, about how we can help young people to get a job. I will let's say, to talk about myself during the presentation, okay, as we are running the time. Okay, well, change here. Okay, the idea is how we can help young people to get a job, and I'm working on practical guide for transition from school to work. Our goal is, of course, to contribute to the reduction of unemployment rate among young people, assist students in the transition from school to work, and encourage learning continually, or develop the culture of lifelong learning. Our agenda, we are going to talk about the contextualization of the theme. Then I will show our contribution about this school to work transition. And of course, in the end, some questions and answers. Let's start with the contextualization. It's, of course, a quick overview. Everyone knows that the rate of employment is high in all over the world. And if you think about the young people that is not in the employment it's not in education or training, the rate goes to 25% more or less. So it's for sure we need to work on that. It's a good opportunity for sure if we want to help the young people to get a job. But for other sides, it makes the inclusion, let's say, more difficult because we know that there are different elements for, let's say, young people to get a job that we are going to talk during the presentation. The second point, of course, we know all these artificial intelligence system, robotical, industrial 4.0, okay, are changing the jobs. And for sure, we needed to be in this third point. The TVET school must be in harmony between school and work. We needed to, of course, develop the capabilities or the skills in the students that are required by the job market. So that's it, the point 2 and point 3. We needed to look closely because all, let's say, the world in transformation, we needed to follow up this in the school and try to give some kind of answer for that. Here is only to show that, of course, ILO, International Labour Organization, are thinking about that, is working on that in the Centenary Declaration for the Future of Work, emphasize the actions to make it possible this transition from school to work and the culture of lifelong learning, because we know that all this transformation, we needed to learn always. And now the last, let's say, report from the World Economic Forum annual meeting, they talking about education 4.0 and again, lifelong learning journey. And here, that's my point, to put in the, let's see, in the hands of the students, more responsibility. And the teachers must act like a mentor, like a facilitator, like a mediator. But in my opinion, we need to put more and more responsibility in the students. Okay? We need to work to develop, let's say, the responsibility and involve the students. They are willing to that, they want to do that, and we need to, let's see, the school and the teachers work on this, okay? So, of course, we are talking about young people, and we need to talk with them and see what they are facing, what the kind of question they are facing. I put here 6, okay, but let's go through very quickly. The first one, is there a structural way to transition from school to work, increasing my chance to get a job? And one small, let's say, stop here. When we talk about TVET, the TVET, a good TVET, normally 75, 80 or more, the student that finish the course, they get a job. That is, let's say, the TVET is not a big challenge, okay, a good TVET. But if you think about secondary school, regular schools, if you think about university, then the problem increases, okay? So, another question. How does my employers expect from me in relation to the activities I must perform? That's another thing that we need to think, okay? To have a clear expectation, what we need to develop, what kind of activity I need to perform there in the market. We need to help the students understand that. How I can keep up to date with the transformation that happened in my occupation, because this, of course, lifelong learning is one way for sure for that. How does the dynamic between capability and competence occur in the world of work? How I use the content to develop the capabilities, and then with the capabilities, I can be competent in the market, in my job. Another question, how I can build, active, and maintain a network. We know that 70%, 72% or more, the jobs are not, let's say, announced. It's a connection, it's a network. And so we need to help the young people to create this network. The last one, what mentality is required to have a successful professional career? Okay, what's a mentality? What a mindset I need to have a good professional career? So that is some example of the question. in any contest, we needed to talk with the students, we need to talk with the young people and see, okay, what kind of question they are facing. That is the message. So, of course, when you talk about transition from school to work, we have some elements. And starting with the public policies and labor laws, for sure, that is very important for the transition. We need to consider that the economic context is different from country to country. So we needed to consider this. And of course, with the more developed economy, the insertion from, let's see, inclusion, social inclusion, or for the young people to get a job, they have a more chance. To have the labor market information, a good system implanted in school. Because when we come here to training offer, we needed to know what kind of training are needed from the market. And not let's see, offer, as I used to see in some places here in Brazil, choose some schools, they offer the course that they have the infrastructure and not to look for the labor market needs. Okay, so labor market information is very important to know what kind of occupation of the salary, okay, what kind of capabilities are required for that job. So we need to work on this. Of course, quality of training. It's let's see, it's out of question. We need to have a good quality of training and the right training offer. So then we come here in this point, school work transition guidance, okay? We needed to help students with information, okay, with all this. And my small contribution, as I told yesterday with Lida, okay, it's a small contribution is in this point, okay, a school work transition. Let's talk a bit about some actions that one school can, let's see, performance to be more inclusive or to help the young people to get a job. I have here a list, okay, and I put here some, let's say, players, school teachers, students, and employers. Course in tune with the demand of the labor market. In my, let's see, consulting and my intervention, okay, in the TVET Center, I will say, don't offer training that doesn't exist in the demand. Don't do that. You are going to make the students suffer because they will put effort and in the end, they don't get a job. So curriculum in tune with the skills required by the job market. And I saw there in Bessini presentation, okay, the partnerships and the understanding, let's see, the skills that are required from the market. That's the way, for sure. Congratulations, Albania skill development, okay. Develop skill required by the job market, of course. Integration of practical experience in the curriculum. Why I put here teacher and employers, okay? The teachers must go to talk with employers and see good experience, practical problems that they have and bring in the curriculum. Here, encourage students to take responsibility for their own learning. It's a lot of information available all the internet, okay? You can learn everything, but we needed to develop in the students this responsibility. Of course, the transition office I put here, the school, normally the TVET school has this kind of help, this kind of transition office, okay, to help. But if you think about, let's see, the regular schools, they don't have it. So I hope that I will show my small contribution, okay, with this guide, practical guide, is in this way. More quickly, okay? Again, partnership. I used to say that any TVET will survive with partnerships. And again, I saw in the BCN presentation, they have 270 partnerships. That's the way. Congratulations again. Connection with the professional in the field. We need to bring, let's say, teachers together with the students, with employers, okay? Bring professionals to talk with the students, to bring them in the classroom. Again, problem-based learning, hands-on projects. teachers should go to talk with employers and see again what the problem do you have that we can bring in classroom and try to solve the problem. That's the way to get social inclusion, because they will get the job. Networking, again, is very important, and self-assessment and career plan. Okay? We needed to help the young people to plan their career, to make it self-assessment and know what is the best option for themselves. Okay, so we come here, it's our contribution, okay? I'm working this for more than 2 years. Now it's ready, this practical guide for transition from school to work. The idea, we have one course for the students and teachers, and one mentoring for elaboration is an execution action plan. I'm calling this series for job or employability. I'm saying season 1 because you know that all this transformation, very soon I needed to rewrite this with some new inputs for sure. And I'm not talking this practical guide about entrepreneurship. That will come soon, because if we decide that if we want to talk about everything, we are not going to solve anything. We need to focus. And the idea is to focus about the job now. And after that, of course, we are going to talk about entrepreneurship. But very quickly, okay, what we are talking about in this practical guide. Of course, the context of a transition from school to work. We talk about mindset, especially mindset, growth mindset and fixed mindset, but about the mentality. As I told you, we needed to help the students understand what kind of a mentality they needed to develop. Of course, self-awareness and learning styles, because they will learn all the life, okay? Because we talk about lifelong learning too. We try to help the students understand the lifelong learning and the ways that they can continue learning. Chapter 5, the model mindset capabilities. That's a model that I developed. The idea is to think about what kind of a capability I need to develop in the classroom. Okay, what kind of a capability this content is helping me. And with the capabilities, I go to the market, I will be able to develop the tasks. So, but the big difference in this, let's say, guide, the core of this is the action plan for transition from school to work. And of course, in this practical guide, we teach the students to describe competence, activities, technical capacities, qualities, and some example of describing occupation. Okay. So here is the base. First step in the action plan is understand your occupation, because I have some research that shows that 50% of the employees don't understand what they need to do in the job. So the first step in this action plan is understand your occupation. Really, what they are expecting from you in the occupation, what kind of requirement, technical, what kind of methodology we are going to use in my work, in my occupation. After that, okay, let's think about you and your occupation. Okay, then is a self-awareness. Okay, I'm in the right occupation. I choose this because I like this and this and this. Okay. After that, of course, let's plan how I'm going to get that job. Though here you have a lot of questions, okay, to fill up, okay, to answer, to plan, especially about the network, especially about what kind of information I needed to have, okay, what kind of habits I need to develop and things like that. And of course, after having planning, go to performance the activities, check, carry out the improvement, celebrate the results, and in this way, okay. But what is really different in this my practical guide transition is this action plan, to put the students to have, let's say, this plan always with them, okay, and think about this. Because what's my idea? They will change the occupation for sure, because more than we have done, okay, in our career. The students, the young people will change a lot. They can use it for any time, use this action plan for a new career, and it will work. So is that I have done last year 2 pilots, that is the secondary schools, and I use the same materials, the same practical guide in the university to prove that we can use in the secondary level and in the university. Right? It's possible to apply. So our goal, I used to say that help young people to get a job, it's not so difficult, but to keep and grow professional, that is a key. Because as I told you, the TVET, more or less 85% here in Brazil, especially in SENAI, it's a National Service of Apprenticeship, they get a job. But how they will keep it and go and, let's say, grow professionally, right? That is, we need to think. And I'm sure that, okay, my small contribution can help with that. So who we are? I'm working with Clayton Oliveira da Costa, that he has 34 years old in this experience in SENAI, National Service of Industrial Apprenticeship here in Brazil. You know that SENAI is a very strong organization here in Brazil, more than 3 million students per year, more than 500 units, and we work, Clayton worked 34 years. I worked 16 years there in SENAI, and now with 6 years with my company, Paris Education Innovation, talking about, let's see, TVET, about management, the TVETs in all over the world. Okay, it's more than 20 countries that I've been talking. I don't know if I know something, but I have the opportunity to learn, to be involved with all the process about management, curriculum development, pedagogical approach. So, is that, shall we together help young people to obtain a job? That's my message. I'm here in Brazil and available for talk online or presential. It's my pleasure to talk about this and try to give you my small contribution, as I used to say. Thank you, Germano. It's from my side is that.
Thank you very much, Dionisio. Your presentation confirms that a strong collaboration between VET providers and VET experts and the businesses is vital to provide courses that actually reply to the needs of the labor market on one side, and that a good quality TVET is the ideal bridge to enter the world of work and start a career. At the same time, you were saying the most challenging aspect is keep the job and keep the pace with the demands of the labor market, and that's more connected to lifelong learning.
Yes.
So thank you very much. I think we can start our question and answer session. We have actually a few questions in the chat. I start with a couple of questions to Alexander. So one question is how the very good projects that you presented are funded, if they are sponsored or not. And I add a small question from my side to this question, which is how you identify the beneficiaries who participate in your courses, in your training offer. Thank you, Alexandre.
So thank you for the questions. About the first one, it's a mixed. We, as a national vocational training, we have like a budget from the government. Part of our budget are directly from the government. So we used our own funds, but also activate local funds. As I shared, this project is a local municipality fund, and also Erasmus Plus projects and other like AMIFs. We are talking about the migration policy, and EA grants, other kind of funds. We are always connected in network, and the partners share these opportunities of funds. and we activated them together. About your question, Germano, the success of this operation is to work directly with communities, with the local associations. They are in the front line working with the beneficiaries. So they identify the people in the community, and then they pass through a process of change all the data with the network, with this social network, and then after that we activate the answers to that challenge. If you need training, we activate vocational and training centers. If you need mental health, we activate healthcare and other one. But yeah, the success is working directly with communities. Obvious that local authorities like municipalities, etc., they have a role on this, obvious, because they can identify the main challenge in each territory. So in general, it's this, German. I don't know if I answered the questions, but
yes, of course. I see another question for you. Then we pass on to the other speakers. You mentioned the monthly gathering of stakeholder between vet providers and companies in which you share the project Portugalia, and you receive feedback from the companies that also want to take part. Can you tell us more about this networking among stakeholders, how it works?
Yes, we have a local network here in Lisbon, and we have a specific group that are working these issues of inclusion and integration. As I shared, we have a specific policy for migration, and one of the major challenges now that we are facing is the condition that migrants are getting with this increase of prices, etc., housing. They are facing enormous difficulties. So with this specific group of work, we trying to get the connection with companies. We start with a few pilots that we call these enterprise coffees, where this network invite companies to join us and to know more about how to hire people in this kind of condition or vulnerability. We give examples, how could be the advantages of hiring people. And this network was growing. And now Portugalia as a huge player in the market, and they are inside in various networks also, companies. We are receiving contacts from IKEA, we are receiving from El Corte Inglés also, and other multinationals. So it's a process. We start with small pilots, we prove the concept, then we spread the word in these networks. Then the companies they identify that it's not so difficult to hire, it's not so expensive to buy training, it's an asset to train employees, to train the people from these communities. And after that, they join the network and they start to work with us. We do this in a monthly base. We send the invitation. With the pandemic, it was all at distance. I think that the last 2 months we gathered, we make a celebration together, face to face. It was amazing, and the project is now running. They are giving the steps autonomous.
So thank you very much. There is still a small question from the audience in the chat. What language are the courses offered in, if you use Portuguese or other languages?
I was saying about the tailor-made training. So we identified that we have to make a mix between Portuguese and English, but we also activate mediators, translators, to join if we are talking about the specific community. If we need people that talk in Farsi, we contact the African community. If people from from Middle East, we contact associations from Middle East, and we hire mediators that become not trainers, obvious, but they translate and mediate not only these issues about language, but also cultural differences that we need to observe in this. But yeah, mediators, translators, mainly in English and also Portuguese to get connected with the process.
Thank you very much, Alexander. Thank you. Now I will continue with a question, a very interesting question for Besim. I don't know if he wants to share his secret, but people in the audience ask if you could share your secret in finding such a big number of companies and businesses to involve with the work delivered by your school.
I wrote it this question before, and I was waiting the moment to answer it. So
okay.
The secret, I can say that more than a secret is a situation post-pandemic one.
Yeah.
Because as we know, in all Europe, in all the world, we are in lack of human resources, especially in the hospitality services. But this is not only the reason. The other reason is that Albania is growing very fast in touristic direction. We are actually right now 2 million of people, but last year we had 7 million of tourists, and this year will be higher. And so this increasing number of tourism has been also a big number of hotels that are opening every day, and the high number of hotels and the restaurants is also one of the main reasons that our school is so close to the labor market, and we have this number of collaboration. So the first of all is the lacking of human resources in the market right now, that, to be honest, is not only merit of the school regarding this, but it's merit of the school that we are preparing students with soft skills and technical skills. And with this, also with question, I want to answer the question of Marco. Especially our school is very close to the labor market because all of the teachers are part also of the industry. Me, I work at the school, but I'm also engaged in the hospitality sector. And this is the same also for all of my colleagues. Someone is a chef, someone is a front office manager, and this kind of bridge between school and industry is very helpful for our students to prepare them with the adequate skills and for what they need for the labor market.
So thank you very much. I am trying to see if there are other...
Anna she wants to say something.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, first of all, regarding the attractiveness of students by the business sector, or also the big number of the agreements the school has increased, I believe, because Besim seems to be a bit modest, but they have a very great leadership at school. First of all, it's with long history and experience, but very fully committed. And this explains as well that the number of almost all students already hired by the private sector before they finished schools. Something interesting and very good, it is the momentum that not only the global situation, but also I'm happy from a perspective of Albania as Albanian and a professional working for more than 2 decades with, let's say, with vocational education, that finally private sector has realized and admitted the importance of vocational schools. And this is happening that almost in all schools, even thanks to the very good work being done by public institutions, structured institutions, National Agency for Employment and Skills, which is new from a few years, but they are very supportive now with the whole vet providers. And in this regard, of course, there is this, let's say, good results. Something important is as well to mention that I have seen schools very, very active in promoting their advantages, not starting in May or June before the registration, but the circle has started since September. So this is a kind of a very good initiatives and active involvement of schools, and this is also seems to be very beneficial from the private sector, and now they have opened their eyes and they see how good and how attractive is vocational education.
Thank you very much, Anna. Thank you. There's a question for Dionisio, which is if the practical guide for transition from school to work is publicly accessible.
Will be in a few weeks. I will put in the Amazon. Okay, then I have in mind to have this in English and Spanish and French to start. Okay, and I'm, let's see, creating the courses with using avatars that I can provide in different languages. Okay, this intelligence artificial is the way. Okay, so I'm creating this course with avatar, then I can provide this in different languages for sure. But in a few weeks, we'll be in the Amazon. And I will, let's see, share, of course, with you, Germano, and then you can spread, okay, with your colleagues. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know if there are any other specific questions for the...
Germano, if there is no...
Yes.
Right, can I put two questions? It's more questions on how we can use this great work presented and how we can cooperate more, no, and use this because I want to thank very much, no, Dionis and Alexander, very inspiring, very, and you can see also from the questions, and it's some thinking jointly since we are here and we have the members. Because this support, this facilitation that we do together with ENAP as the ETF, with all the members and as they have required, because we have met, it will be followed. But now they want to look more into how together they work on more clustered activities so that they can be supported. Because the first phase was for them opening up the system to each of the members to understand better the commonalities, different contexts as we talk. And your presentation captures it all, no? So even if they are too different from Portugal or from Brazil, we see we are all facing the same things. Now, they have asked in the questions that we have had, and but still we have to discuss with them, but I wanted your brains. They want to have a common defined action program as members, no? Even if they come from different sectors, even if they have chosen all of this thing, innovation and technology, and they have work-based learning, they have pedagogy, development, curricula, teacher training. So that is one. The second is best practice, which is very easy because among themselves they present, and you, and also in other peer learning that we have had excellent good practices. They want knowledge facilitation of knowledge. We have done, and we can do it forever, but we have to not to stop, but we have to be more concrete now. What we want to take from this knowledge sharing, because it's so much out there. Knowledge sharing, how to use it, and to cater it for their needs that they as members have put. They've also talked about the capacity building, and the members, I'm saying, of Centers of Excellence that we have. And you explain very well in your work, because also we have language problems. As we know, also from Erasmus, because I'm very much engaged with that, with all our countries, and we network and link, and we will network also with you, we will link them. Language is a problem. For example, even in this presentation from Albania, the school director, she is brilliant, as Tessin said. She has she's a bomba, we say, with all the outreaching and this. Language is a problem. You see what I mean? Because she doesn't speak English, she understands, but so language is a problem. What kind we can, and I saw in your presentations how you, overcome this barrier, Alexander. No, it's but it is costly, as you know, because in your case you are publicly funded and this, so everything has a cost. And another thing they have asked is coaching. Again, coaching, not all of them 11 for the same thing. They might have common things, no, that they decide. And now, I'm pretty sure in your work, you have gone through all this discussion, all this, how can we do it better to facilitate? And if we will invite you at least for some discussions or one discussion where you can help us, no, with the members, how to focus better and to choose some things that are common for them, because we cannot do private for each of them. For each of them, they can participate in the Erasmus. Definitely you will have requests. Because also we had from Malawi, we had a question, and from Zimbabwe on that, it is from NF. So if you accept to use also your, not to use, but to ask you to present better, Dionys, the tool, no? Because we can see from your presentation, it's simple, it's very practical, it's very down to earth, how we can help, and when it is ready, and that we can share, that we can have sessions to use these tools, because we don't need each of us and every of us to invent something. It's so much done, so much invented, so much learned from all this, and you two gave great examples how we can collaborate. Some thinking, you don't have to give it now, but I'm just putting these questions, and I'll come back with more constructive questions coming from the network, how we can take this support further and facilitation. If you have some answers, you can give it now also the members here, but if we can follow up with you for this great experience that you shared today, and very grateful for everything.
So I can leave the floor to the speakers if they want to say something now.
And felt true to talk about two or three aspects. These kind of encounters are very important for us and obvious to get more deep in these practices. In general, after the pilots, we make a small study and try to build all the route of success for each project. I think that we need to share this route. We are talking about projects. I show you one with 5 years. We are doing these 5 years trying to get on the world. And at the end, when we see light at the end of the tunnel and people happy and autonomous and getting money, salaries, good conditions, then we make this small study and share the practice with our partners. We can share these practices with ETF and other partners, and we probably and obvious we're gonna get in contact. You have my contacts there, and also because we have different countries, different contexts, we can adapt these methodologies to each country. We have much to. I heard a lot about Albania. Here in Portugal, tourism is now, as leaders say, it's a bomba. It's a bomb. It's everywhere. Talking about tourism, we are receiving millions and millions of tourists. So this area for vocational training are a priority. So we have a lot to learn with Albania and a lot to share also with other countries. So this is one step. Share these studies about the success of our pilots, and then to get more in contact. It's a way, I think, obvious. We need to talk more. We need to identify our priorities, our objectives. But this is the first step. I think it for us, for Innovinter, it is a great pleasure to be here to share. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I think we are putting wooden logs into our fireplace for future webinars and thematic sessions for the the upcoming months. I think there was still one question for you, Alexandra. And the question is, what skills are required for online jobs, and how you go about training your people, because this would then be extended to Malawi. So I ask you this question, please.
Sure. We are talking about basic knowledge. We are talking about the Microsoft or Office ambient, easy, how to manage with Excel, Word, etc. It's easy, and we start 25 hours getting in touch with this. Obvious that we have groups that have more knowledge about these IT skills, so we move to other kinds of contents. And for people that don't have so much information about it, we start with the beginner classes. Then after that, the managing of the platform, it's an online platform from Humans in the Loop. It's easy to use. And we gave, at the end of the training, a list of companies in the world that provide those kind of tasks. And then I think that with the easy count of PayPal, we have a huge challenge here. When we talk about, once more, about refugees, it's very hard to open a bank account. The process is hard. Now they are changing the law. We are changing the law here in Portugal. It's much easier. But PayPal accounts, knowledge about Excel, Word, etc. And then after that, you just need to start working. Computer and internet. That's why this project are running now in Afghanistan. Are running in Jordan. It's running in Syria. And thank you for the question, and probably we're going to keep in touch. I can give you also the contacts from the foundation. They have several projects. I think now they are starting in Congo a project, so it will be easy to get in touch.
Thank you for the question. Thank you, Alexandra. So if there are no other questions, there's Basim who wants to say something. Basim.
Yes, before we close, I would like to say something by thanking you, but I want to make it in Italian language, even for them who didn't speak this language. They can feel it and they can understand what I am saying. Grazie Germano, grazie Lida, grazie Loretta, grazie Ilaria per tutto il vostro affetto, per tutta la vostra energia, per il cuore che ci mettete, perché siete un motivo di orgoglio per noi che lavoriamo con voi, ma anche di ispirazione per noi e anche per i nostri studenti che oggi hanno avuto la possibilità di vedervi da vicino, ma anche hanno sentito molto parlare di voi con i vostri progetti. Grazie di nuovo, è stato un piacere.
Thank you, Basim. Your words touched my heart, and I think your intervention is very moving.
Germano,
Lida, say something.
Because I wanted to hear also from Dionis, because I raised the question and there is the question for the tool kit. So also it was in the question.
Yes.
Dionis can say something more and how we
For sure. Yes. So
Okay.
Dionisio.
Okay, first of all, thank you very much for the opportunity. I think the presentation, in my presentation, has my contacts, but Daniele, I will send a message for you, Anna, too, okay? Lida, what I'm thinking, and I'm working, okay, is to use these avatars to provide the training, to provide the online training. Then you know that we can share the language. So that is the one good way that we can share the knowledge, we can share the experience, okay? So that is, I'm working on that. Because this nowadays is possible to use this avatar, then I can speak in Albanian too, okay? I can put the videos in Russia, okay? I can put in Vietnamese. So that is the idea. That is one good way. And of course, it's my pleasure, and I hope that we can continue in touch and we'll continue to grow and grow together, okay? and of course, in the end, to help with the social inclusion, to help the young people to get a job and to keep and grow. Okay, thank you very much again.
Thank you. Thank you.
And this avatar thing, because it's very interesting. Why I'm saying, because I've heard it that some other members of ours, they developed for the teacher professional development, for the curricula, also for the work-based learning. So if we can have from different contexts, different cultures, and with your thing, that would be very good, no? To pick it once the members decide, because it's everything is the members. But also I wanted it kind of your commitment. If we will ask you once when we go for this action plan in the discussion with our members, if you can join us, apart from the members, to do facilitation in an informed way, but also a practical way from your practice. So, because I can see also privately the members are writing, not everything on the WhatsApp, because sometimes they feel ashamed, not ashamed, but because of the language, you know how it is. When you know people more, as we said, the familiarity brings a lot of added value, you know, if you know people. And so we will contact you, no? We will contact you, and we will continue this work for all the members with your guidance, with your participation. And it's the last call, so big thank you to everybody, but it's the last call to all the members and participants. If they have other questions, if they want, yes, we have the contacts of everybody. If you want to put there that immediately you want to contact Dionys or Alexander, as you know where you contact, or Besim, you feel free. It's your choice. Because as you know, by rules, we don't share all the information and then it's given the consensus. But if anybody has any final questions, any final thing they want to say from their own country, their own experience, please.
I don't see any other questions in the chat. So before the avatars participate in webinars on our behalf, Lida, I would give you the floor for the final greetings, if you agree.
Of course, I mean, the best greetings are if we are in person. And being a southerner myself, I need hugs, no? To say thank you. And a big smile. So big thank you to everybody for participating, for contributing, and we will continue that. The other thing I wanted to say is that feel free, and in the WhatsApp, we have given all the connections. I mean, connections of the where we put all the material. Loretta, and we have put there, we have what we call open space. It's the platform which all the members of the Center of Excellence, not only of social inclusion, because as you see, social inclusion, and from your presentation, it covers all the things. We can't work in boxes, because we say what? It's green transition. How can we not talk about social inclusion and skills for inclusion? We talk about teacher training. How can we not? Policy making, how can we not? And all the other things that we have under Centers of Excellence. So we see skills for inclusion as the running theme for all the thematic theme that the different sub-centers of excellence groups are working on. And in the open space that Loretta kindly put it there, you can easily register. And there you see all the developments, and we have over 240 members from the ETF partner countries, apart from the EU member states. So it's a variety of knowledge, variety of participation, variety of institutions. There in the list, you can see that we have universities, vet schools, big sectors and small sectors, SMEs, research institutions, civil society. They are members of all these networks based on country level or cross themes in this Center of Excellence. So it's a pool of knowledge, expertise, and if you can build on that. So please register, please look at all the interests that you have. You will find all what is presented today, like for the other peer learning. all the presentations, all the documents, all the links. We have a lot also of videos, not quick, because I know people are overwhelmed. They want to find quickly, what is of interest for them. And I thank all the teams, because we consider ourselves as one team. It's not names. It's ETF, ENE, and the members, and the people that we invite in all this peer learning. So we are all one. There is no leader, and there is no, it's all one, and it's all together in this great peer learning so far. Thank you from on behalf of ETF, and also on behalf of ENE, because we work as a team, and soon you will hear from us. And thank you to Basim, Dionis, and Alexander as the key pillars of this peer learning, which was really brilliant. It compensated all the different angles that you are working on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye to everyone.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you
very much. Bye.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao. Bom dia, bom dia.
Bom dia.